Hi there everybody, today we're going to look at constructing some perpendicular lines. I'm going to start off by doing a perpendicular bisector of a line. Okay, so let's have a look. So bisecting means you're going to cut a line in half. All right, that's kind of key part of this, and that's important really when we start thinking about where we might use this. And actually the idea of saying something is nearer to one thing than something else is actually where you would look to kind of do this. All right, so you're going to need a set of compasses and a ruler in order to do it. And of course, it'd probably take a bit of practice using a set of compasses, but I'll let you have a go at it. All right, so if you've got a line and we're looking to basically bisect it, we're going to put compasses at one end of the line and open up so it's past halfway, right? So essentially, I'm going to put my compass point here, and I'm going to extend it so it goes past halfway. All right, so compass point here, extend it, goes past halfway, and then draw an arc. All right, so you can see compass point there, and I'm going to draw an arc which has gone past halfway. All right, keeping it the same length, you're going to put it to the other side over here. All right, so where my cursor is now, and you're going to draw another arc with the same distance like that. All right, so what you should have is something looking like that to start with. Okay, so what you've got is that this distance here and this distance here are both the same. So the distance from there to there is the same, the distance from there to there is the same, and so on and so on and so on. So the distances where these two cross are both the same. So if I split down this in the middle, then I'm going to have a line that cuts it right down the middle as well. All right, so I need to just now draw a line down the middle that cuts it at a right angle, perfect right angle, and of course you've bisected it as well. All right, so that's how you construct a perpendicular bisector. Again, it might be a piece of paper, or you just kind of practice it as you kind of go. All right, so that's the perpendicular bisector. We're going to look at other ones, or so we're looking at perpendicular lines, but maybe you want to bisect, also not bisect, maybe you want to cut it at a specific point. Okay, so at right angle still. So what we're going to do this particular time is that we're going to look at, hopefully you can see from there, you've got a point already on there. All right, so I want to cut it down the middle of there. All right, that point can be anywhere. It could be that side or that side, doesn't matter. But in relation to this, it's right in the center. All right, so what we need is basically you need to create an equal distance from either side, because really I want to bisect it exactly there. So if I put my compass point here and then draw two little arcs, this side and this side, using my compass, then what I've actually got here is that distance there and that distance there are both the same, and therefore I should be able to bisect this section of the line. All right, so I'm now going to repeat what I did a couple of minutes ago, is I'm going to put my compass point at the end of this little section here and draw an arc. All right, so hence that bit, and remember, again, making sure that it's past halfway. I'm going to put my compass point now here and do the same thing. All right, so I've got that, and then you should, therefore, when you draw the line through, it should go right down the middle of the point that I'm trying to kind of cut through, which is obviously what I'm trying to achieve. All right, okay. Right, the only other one, again, I'm still looking for a perpendicular line, but maybe I've got a point which is off the line. So maybe I want to put a line which is perpendicular going down there. Okay, so it's a little bit different. So really what I'm trying to get to is, again, same kind of thing, is how do I go about finding a point which is equal distance from there to there so that I can bisect it. All right, so what you do, it's quite straightforward. You put your compass point on here, and you extend it past the line, and then you're going to draw an arc. All right, so it looks like that. So you're going to extend it to there, and then you're going to draw an arc from there to there, because actually that distance and that distance to there are the same. So if I split it down the middle, there is going to be exactly halfway through between these two. So once I've done that bit, you do what you've done in the last couple of occasions. I'm going to put my compass point here, extend it past halfway, and draw an arc. All right, I could do it this side as well, but what you're going to find, it'll probably kind of come somewhere close to that, but it doesn't really matter. Put an arc there. I'm going to put a compass point on this side. I'm going to put an arc there. And then what will happen is, because you've already got this point in here, you're going to draw a line straight down between those particular things there. All right, so you've got all that. So what you've done is you've created a perpendicular line from a point, obviously through the other one. Okay, so in essence, what's the purpose of doing this? Well, it really depends on the question in terms of what you're trying to achieve. So if you haven't done yet, then there is a lesson on loci. And loci is the one that really you want to kind of look at, because what you're doing with some of these constructions is you are basically creating lines which will help you identify where something is the same distance away from something else. All right, so if I look at this one very carefully, this line here is equal distance from 1 and 2. All right, so when I bisect something down here, this line are the loci of points which is equal, same distance from there to there as it is from there to there, and anywhere along here it's the same distance from 1 to 2. It's the same distance. All right, so if I actually say it needs to be halfway between 1 and 2, I can put anywhere along this line, and that's to do with loci. So that's the kind of point of this. All right, but please do go to maths-school.co.uk to have a practice some of these kind of questions. I would say probably the reality with these kind of questions is you probably need to get some pen and paper and a set of compasses and literally just kind of practice kind of doing it. All right, more than going online and doing it. But of course, there are some kind of questions online to have a look at. All right, so thanks for listening.